everyone, it's Larissa. Welcome or welcome back to another video on my channel, to another DCP video diaries. Today's video, I'm gonna show you guys my apartment tour, my apartment complex tour. When I was doing my research about the Disney College Program housing, I kind of wanted to know what are the amenities that came with the apartment. If you do not know, Disney College Program is a paid internship where you work for the Walt Disney Company in Orlando, Florida. And when you work there, you can work at the parks, the resorts, the water parks, pretty much anything on Disney property. I live in a housing complex which is called Flamingo Crossings Village, and you get to meet people all over the world because there are many different kinds of programs here. So there are college programs, international programs, like professional internships, and the culinary, which is all the chefs and stuff at the, like the quick services. You guys, the literal everything from my apartment to the apartment or the building itself. When you live in Flamingo Crossings, there are 3 different types of apartments you can live in. So all of the apartments, you live with 3 other people plus yourself. So there are a 2x2, a 4x2, and a 4x4. So I live in a 4x2, which is basically a 4 people, and they have their own room, and then each group, so me and my roommate, we share a bathroom, and then my other 2 roommates, they have their room, they share a bathroom. 2x2 is 2 people in 1 room and they share everything, which is the most common one that you get here. The 4x4 is you have your own room and your own bathroom, so it's a bit pricier than the 4x2 and the 2x2. You don't really get to choose which one, they kind of just choose it for you. It's kind of based by lottery. It is basically Flamingo Crossings. So right here is the front of the apartment complex. Over there are the gates. So part of living here is very like secure and safe. That was kind of my biggest thing here, coming in here, is it safe? And then over here is rideshare, is where when you order online or you're meeting someone who doesn't live in Flamingo, is just picking you up, like you meet over there. Like if you're ordering Uber, you pick up the food there because legally no one cannot enter here. So yeah, over here are the gates, is where you scan your ID card to get in, so it shows your face, who you look like, just safety reasons. And then over here is the bus stops. So all the buses go to parks, resorts, literally anywhere throughout Disney property, Disney Springs, wherever. And yeah, and these are the buses. They're like all the way over there. Here are the close-ups of the gates, like, so like there's security over there, and then you just scan to get in. And then over here is Apprentice Hall. I mean, not Apprentice Hall. Over here is the community center, and this is kind of where everyone likes to hang out. And yeah, by the way, Flamingo is divided into 2 parts. So I live in Flamingo East. There is a Flamingo West. Pretty much they're all the same. There's really no difference. The only really real difference is there is no Apprentice Hall, which you'll find out in a sec. But this is the community center, and normally it's always open, but it does open 24 hours here. There's staff here that opens 24 hours. So we have the iconic Flamingo Crossings Village sign. So here is what it looks like. Front desk is over there. Normally it's not really there anymore, but it is very nice, very bougie. There's computers and stuff in here. And then upstairs is actually the gym, which we'll show you in a second. And then they have coffee machines, vending machines, bathroom, the front desk is over there. Water. And then over here, they sometimes play movies. Coffee machine over here, and people like hang out and stuff. And then you could also study because it's college program too. People are doing work, so there's study room. People are there right now. And then over here you can rent like grocery carts, whatever. You just have to give them your ID. And then that's for flamingo crossings. And then yeah, so this is kind of downstairs of the community center. Another good thing about it is there is a gym upstairs. So we're gonna take the elevator to the gym. We have made it to the gym. So we have a yoga studio. I haven't really worked out here, but it is very, very nice. They have lockers here. They also have showers in their bathroom. Like people are working out. It is very, very nice. And then all the weights, there's a TV. And then also, I will say the West gym is a better because you do get a view of the pool. This view is you just get a view of the community center. This is where kind of people are hanging out. That is Apprentice Hall, which is a big part of Disney programs. Is networking is a huge thing here, so they often have classes and special visitors and everything like that. So that is Apprentice Hall right across. So yeah, I don't know if they're open right now just because they close at 5 and it's like 6. But yeah, if you can see just upstairs, that's where all the classrooms are at. And then front desk is over there. And yeah, so that's Apprentice Hall. And you normally can't get in with your ID. It's normally the people that work there who are Disney employees. So yeah, you can go to them if you need support on anything like work, scheduling, you know, like internships, if you want to extend your program, like whatever. So I decided to show you that because I don't think I can go in because there is no one there. So yeah. Okay, now we're going to exit out of the community center. And they are currently watching a movie right now. They always play movies sometimes. But we have 2 pools over here. So we have this one. This is like the main one. And then there's the other one over there, which no one really goes to that one, but there's that one. There we have the lawn, you know, which is kind of where you go to like check in and play sports and stuff. And then, yeah, and then over here is just kind of a better view. I always hang out here sometimes if I have extra time before work or if I'm going to a class in Flamingo, so, or at Apprentice Hall. So yeah, next is the package room. This is kind of like the last main thing before we go to the buildings. So yeah, this is normally like locked, but it was unlocked today. But this is the room where you go if you have a package and everything. And this is really cool. It's just like Amazon lockers and stuff like that. And you'll learn all about like what your mailing addresses is and stuff like that on your itinerary and when you move in and stuff, because it gives you your mail key and all that kind of thing. Your packages go to, where your letters go to, it's separate, which I'll show you guys in a bit. And you actually get notifications of when you get packages, but not by letter though. So you kind of just gotta check your letters. Parcel pending, parcel pending, and it notifies you when you get a package. I actually have a package to pick up right now, so I'll show you. You go to the app and then you just select open box. It's like an Amazon locker. And then here's my package. This is the mail room. This is where you go and get letters. So I've actually never gotten a letter here, and then you can also send out like mail out here, which is really cool. So yeah, but I've actually never picked up a letter. My roommate has, so I have no idea which letter is mine or which number it is. But yeah, my roommate actually checks more because she gets more of the letters than I do. So yeah, but you actually don't get notified when you get a letter. You just kind of have to check. So Yeah. Now I am walking to my apartment, but how the buildings work here is each building has a mentor or guide of a Disney character, and yeah, that's kind of how it is. And whenever we meet other people who live in Flamingo, they're like, oh, are you east or west, or like what building you're at. So yeah, and then each building comes with a trash room and an elevator, and there are 4 floors in each building, if that makes sense. Probably one of the farthest buildings, so I do have to make a long walk whenever I come home, if I'm just coming home from the parks or coming home from work. I do have to walk a lot, which burns a lot of calories. But yeah, so I'm just walking back to my apartment, and then I will give you guys an apartment tour. My advisor or neighborhood is Dog from Snow White, and then it has a little information about him. And then, so this is the building, and each building has an elevator. It says elevator. So elevator is that way. But I live on the first floor, so, which is so fun. But it's also very convenient because, yeah, but this is the first floor. It is very quiet and calm here. So yeah, those are the stairs to go like on the second floor. There are stairs, but many people use the elevator. But my room is in the corner, so like I can literally just leave. But so here's our door. Have a little map, and then I always lock my door whenever I leave, and then I unlock it. And here is my apartment. Then I lock it again, and it is pretty dark here, but this is kind of our apartment. So that's the door, and then this is kind of like the electronical stuff I don't really touch. So this side is my roommate's side, which again, I'm not gonna go in there just because it is their space. And then this is the kitchen. This is the kitchen, and it's a shared space with like 4 people, including myself. But actually our like 4th roommate actually just moved out because she just finished her program. So it's me and my roommate and then one other girl. And then here is our fridge. So this is our mail key. And then, yeah, this is kind of just everything. We have all the events, and then this, and then we have a welcome thing that we got when we moved in. And then here is our fridge. Nothing special, just a fridge. Oh, lovely. Cabinets, so each one of them is kind of like divided. So obviously this one's nothing because this used to be my roommate's, but she moved because she finished her program. And then our other roommate actually doesn't really use cabinets, so it's an extra cabinet for us. So those are all of our trash bags, and then those are just some of my stuff and my roommates. And then this is my roommate Nadia's stuff, and then this is just mine. It's just like storage and all that. And then a lot is going on here. It's just, you know, yeah. And then we have just, you know, just your average stuff, you know, like just your average kitchen stuff. I feel like it comes with a microwave, and then yeah, this is just your average kitchen, you know, kind of thing. And then it also, the room does come furnished. So it does come with a couch and a coffee table, which like bless, you know. And then it comes with a TV as well. My roommate is a gamer, so that's her PS5, that's my Switch, and then her TV. And then we kind of like hang out here sometimes and do a little debriefs. And then over here is the laundry, and washer. So we do have our own laundry and washer unit in here, which is really, really nice. And then over here is, and then this side is just me and my roommates, like our laundry stuff and then our cleaning stuff, since we do love to clean here. Okay, so then this is my roommate's side, and the other room where my roommate is in, it's pretty much the same. I'm mainly just going to be showing my side just because I do want to respect my roommate's privacy with her things. So yeah, so obviously when you come over here, we have the calendar, and this is our work schedule. It is not July, I need to change that, but this is our like work schedule. So we know that for me and my roommate, like if we wanted to hang out, we can just look at this calendar and be like, hey, this person is working from this time to this time, or this person is off. So whenever the new schedule comes out, which comes out on Sunday morning at 12 a.m. and we just kind of like, we write it down. And yeah, so obviously this is my roommate's room, which I'm not gonna go there, just I want to respect her privacy. This is my room, and then this is kind of like our shared little space. So this is my side, that is her side. So obviously I just have my makeup, hair tie, perfume, hairspray, all that kind of stuff, my hairbrush, like my toothbrush, toothpaste, and then we do share like this as well. And then here we also, it comes with the medicine cabinet, which I don't have a lot, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much. And then underneath here I have just like a bunch of like storage stuff. Yeah, like there's really not much under there. And then under here is our bathroom. We share this bathroom. This is like the only logistical thing we really share, which is really nice. So then here's our little shower, our glass shower. So this is my roommate's side, that is my side. You know, it's a shower. And then we have our toilets, and then over here we have just kind of like the necessities for the bathroom, like cleaning supplies for the bathroom. We have our like little spray here and toilet paper, girl stuff, you know. And then over here we have like our towels. So this one is for like extra if someone, you know, this is for whenever I swim, but also for someone if they need it. And then this is my towel. This is my roommate's stuff. Again, I'm not gonna go too brief on her section just because it is hers. Then we have my room, which I am very glad of the outcome of this room. I really like how everything kind of turned out. And yeah, so obviously I do have my own room, which is really great because there are days where I do need my privacy, but I feel like my roommate and I, we get along so well. Like we're great friends and roommates, so we kind of do have that kind of like boundary between each other, which is really good. So over here we have the back of my room, and so over here we have my little pin bag, because I wasn't really into pin trading before I got here, but it is very big here at Disney World compared to Disneyland. Like you would just see a bunch of pin trading. So I did get this from Pin HQ. So these are all my pins. And then I have my little like my bag, and then my tote bag that has a capybara on it. Then this little hat for work. And then here is my closet. It's a little mirror closet, so this is really great. And then, so when you walk into here are just all my clothes. So this side is like my work stuff, because I pick up at a lot of locations because I'm merchandise and it's very flexible like that. So yeah, and then there's like my laundry hamper, and then just a bunch of storage stuff. I have suitcases there. Nothing too special. Then over here, I have all my lounge flies. So this one is the one I originally brought when I got my program. And then this one I got at SeaWorld. And then this is the one I got at Cast Connections, which is really nice. So then over here, it's a lot going on, actually. This is where I, you know, get ready for the day. So I have all of my clothes, and then we have my window, which I always keep closed. Yeah, and then I have my Steam Deck there, my work backpack, work stuff, and then my shoes are right there. I have this mug, then all my electronics. I have over there a little trash can, and then my bed. I love my bed. It is amazing. If you don't know, my favorite color is blue. So yeah, I have all my little stuffed animals over there. They're great. And then we have my ears. Those are all my ears that I have so far. I haven't bought any new ears since I started my program, but they're there. And then here we got a little digging up to do. I have my company ID, my name tag, portable charger, and then I have like my pins that I get, like I'm celebrating. This is when I got into the DCP, when I graduated, my birthday, my 1-year anniversary of being married. And then again, this is like my birthday one, and then all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that brings the conclusion of literally everything here that Flamingo has to offer. Honestly, it is so great and amazing. The only downside about living here though is you do pay rent when you live here. So when you work, you're paying for your rent. So rent takes out of your paycheck. So, you know, budgeting and everything is such a huge thing here. So definitely keep that in mind. So obviously the higher your apartment is, like if you have the 4x4 or 4x2, obviously they're going to be more pricier versus if you have a 2x2. There's obviously pros and cons to each room, and yeah. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more Disney content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.